The now disgraced former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is not just out, he's now gone. He's announced that he's leaving Congress at the end of the year, leading a number of pundits to ask why. Why is one of the more powerful members of Congress leaving, and why now? Well, we're going to answer just that and see how it sheds light on the fact that you are effectively taking over this party and pushing the likes of McCarthy out of the GOP once and for all. You're going to absolutely love this. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot professor. As you can see, I am on the road, but I'm still here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Now, as you all know by now, Kevin McCarthy has announced that he is resigning from his congressional seat at the end of the year, an announcement that comes just 2 months after his historic ouster as House Speaker. McCarthy, of course, was the first speaker to have ever been voted out, but it was even worse than that for him. The Gates 8, as they're called, not only took out McCarthy, but they turned around and were instrumental in replacing him with MAGA Mike Johnson as Speaker. So it wasn't just getting rid of McCarthy, that was bad enough. It was replacing him with a far more conservative Christian nationalist populist like Mike Johnson. Remember, the establishment originally wanted to impose the ultra establishment Tom Emmer as Speaker on us. Emmer is radically anti-Trump. He's rabidly anti-America First. He basically makes Kevin McCarthy in many respects like Pat Buchanan. He would have been an absolute disaster for 2024, precisely because every time Trump said something, every single day the woke leftists and the legacy media would run up to Emmer and ask for a comment, and he would have winked. They would have winked at each other, and Emmer would have turned around and said, just bashed Trump. Well, I'm going to have to once again distance myself from Donald Trump. He does not represent the values of our party. That's all we would hear all of 2024, just like with Eddie Munster Ryan, right? Eddie Munster Ryan back in 2016. Trump's positions are not representative of our party. Yeah, right. So Trump would have had to have run against both Biden and the Republican leadership in the House had Emmer succeeded. But the Gates 8 were successful in thwarting Emmer and getting Mike Johnson, MAGA Mike Johnson, in as the new Speaker, an infinitely better option than McCarthy. So now the latest news is that McCarthy is leaving. He's not going to bother finishing out his term. He's leaving at the end of the year, and thus the era of McCarthy is officially coming to an end, which is leading many to ask the question, why? I mean, what happened here? Why is McCarthy really resigning here? And why now? Why not finish out his term? Why is he leaving now? There are no health issues that we know of. There were no personal issues that we know, not even any professional opportunities like Nebraska Senator Ben Sassypants had in becoming president of a university. So what's really behind McCarthy leaving? Well, we're going to answer precisely that. But first, gang, you've got to click on that link below and try out the amazing Old Country soap made on a farm in South Dakota using traditional techniques. They use only locally sourced special ingredients without the harsh chemicals that can dry out your hair and skin. Every single bar includes pure and unfiltered bentonite clay that works wonders. It helps to soothe and relieve dry and sensitive skin. It's known for its healing properties with help on psoriasis and eczema. It pulls dirt and oil from pores. I'm going to clear up acne. I mean, it's amazing stuff. It works great for hair. You can use it to shave. It's safe for your pets. And on top of all of that, it's made right here in the USA. Use promo code Turley for an exclusive 20% discount off your order. And every order will include an extra gift. Just pay the shipping. It's more than worth it. So go ahead, reward yourself with this amazing Patriot product. You will not be disappointed. Click on that link below right now. When all is said and done, I think Jazz Shaw of Hot Air is absolutely right in this. McCarthy is leaving because of sour grapes. McCarthy is huffing and puffing over the way he was ousted from the speakership that he had coveted for so long and finally got. And he's particularly bitter and resentful towards the more conservative elements of the GOP who, despite the establishment's best efforts, continue to take over the leadership of the party. Now, in the end, McCarthy is leaving precisely because conservative patriots are taking over the party, and there's frankly no future for rhino neocons like himself. I mean, think about what McCarthy has been seeing of late, not just with his own ouster, right? We've got Trump, the undisputed leader of the party, despite the best efforts of the donor class-controlled single-digit midgets who are challenging him for the nomination. No one's even taking seriously. And then, of course, you had the utterly embarrassing, cringeworthy efforts of Liz Cheney to try to steal the party away from the MAGA base. We saw how those pathetic efforts worked out for her. She was crushed by Harriet Hageman, the Trump-endorsed primary challenger last summer. Hageman won the Republican primary in Wyoming with nearly 70% of the vote. And with Cheney's defeat, 9 of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach President Trump were wiped away. Then you had the efforts of the likes of Mittens Romney, who tried to reassert his own leadership over the GOP, only to openly admit that there's no place for him anymore in the GOP. Then you got Ron DeSantis, Mike Pence, these other single-digit midgets who've gone nowhere in terms of seizing leadership over the party. We saw Tom Emmer fail as well. Everywhere Kevin McCarthy has been looking, the rhino neocon establishment is slowly but surely withering away. There's simply no future for him. And so when all is said and done, McCarthy is saying, okay, if you don't want me and my establishment ilk in power, then you as a party shouldn't be in power. If I'm gone, then you're gone. That's the patently pathetic nature of this guy. If I can't be the leader of this Republican majority, then you don't deserve to be a majority. So McCarthy is leaving because he's a bitter, resentful person who doesn't care about you, your values, your interests, or your concerns in the least. Far from being a team player, he's an establishment player. And if we, the people, push back against the establishment, he, Kevin McCarthy, is going to push back against us. So he's gone. And I think I speak for all of us when I say he will not be missed.
But first, gang, as many of you know, we have unfortunately been completely and totally demonetized, which is putting our daily communication with one another at risk like never before. Now, we are actively working on getting this resolved, but as things stand, this channel has, without any warning, been totally and completely demonetized. And as Elon Musk said so powerfully last week, the whole point of these demonetization efforts is to deliberately try to make us patriots feel like we're all alone. They want to sever our relationship with each other and force on us a kind of digital solitary confinement so as to demoralize us and discourage us like never before. But to their horror, it's not working. Over this past week, you have carried this channel like never before. We've had more people than ever make the courageous decision to bypass big tech and join our Insiders Club. We have direct access to one another that can never be interrupted by big tech overlords. Over the last 7 days, we've seen literally thousands of you come to our rescue. And you've done it in 2 ways. You've signed up for our free newsletter and you've officially joined our Insiders Club. Those 2 acts alone are enough for us to collectively stand together and never, ever have our relationship severed. So I'm inviting the rest of you to do the same today, just by clicking on that link below and signing up for our newsletter and joining our Insiders Club. You are guaranteeing that there is nothing that big tech can do to get between us and make us feel like we're in a digital solitary confinement. It's as simple as clicking on the link below right now and opting into our free email newsletter. And once you do that, you can financially support us by joining our Insiders Club. Gang, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough for your support during a time like this. You are my heroes, and it will be my mission to express my appreciation for every single one of you each and every week.